Daytona, a circuit built around patience, concentration, and survival. To understand how it came to that, we need to go back to the start, where we are in last place in the BMW M4. Ahead of us is the LMP2s, and ahead of that are the hypercars. And this entire race is a 24-hour cycle condensed into 1 hour of race time. Getting an absolutely insane start off the line, getting held up by the Corvette up in front. But we're going to make an unusual move here. We'll send it up the inside of turn 1. It can be very sketchy doing so, but you can also gain a lot of places by doing said actions. Coming out of that corner, we're still in one piece, but we have a few cars to our right hand side, and we have to be mindful of giving them space. Very easy to have an accident through the S's right there. And again, going up the outside of the whole wolf pack to our right, we have to be mindful that when they come across, contact like that may happen, as we did with Powell in the Mustang just up in front. Luckily, no harm, no foul. There is no damage to our car. Hopefully there's no damage to Powell's car. We're going to nail it the inside, take that position from them, but I think they're going to be able to hold on to it, defend away from us as we go the outside again, not being able to get on the power as early as they have, and again, they have regained that position. But we're going to nail up the inside of Powell and make it definite. We are not going to hand that position back to him, but with our pressure and pushing our way through, they have lost 3 places overall, as a Mercedes and a Corvette has followed us through, gaining that position. Chasing down the Porsche up in front, we're getting a little whiff of slipstream, but not enough to vacuum us in as we head towards the bus stop. Another place where it can all go so wrong. And I think it's already gone wrong for one driver to our left hand side who has met the wall, and by the looks of it have well, been evicted from the race, really, because their car looks pretty well destroyed. Capitalizing on someone else's misery, we have gained another few positions, now up to P10. Chasing down the Corvette up in front has given us an insane amount of slipstream, and I think they're going to barrel to the right, so we're going to hang it to the left. Oh, they went to go defensive, but ultimately didn't fully commit. Another position gain. We're now into P9, chasing down Mercedes up in front. We also set a faster sector 3 of this race up to now, which is not bad going, really, considering this is the end of lap 1 for the start of lap 2. Cannot grumble at that. We just need to keep setting benchmarks like that, and we will make gains throughout that field. The Mustang and the Aston Martin heavily battling, and with their battling and myself being quite cautious, opened that door for the Corvette to sniff up the inside and kind of try and steal that position. But with a little bit of bullying, we kind of close that door upon them. But what goes around comes around, and it's going to come around in spades here as we look up the outside of the Mustang, going way too deep. The Corvette managed to steal that position back from us, but side by side into the final corner before we head onto the outer bank, they did not go defensive, and ultimately kind of bullied my way back through out the other side and gain that position. Now I'm going to have a great bit of slipstream from the Mustang up in front. The Corvette behind, on the other hand, is now in a battle with the Mercedes. This opens the door for us to battle the Mustang, then the Aston Martin after that, to catch up to the Mercedes up in front. Mercedes now looking to make a move upon the Lexus, and side by side into turn 1 is going to be brave, but I think they're going to pull it off. A little bit sketchy on the Mercedes as they hard on that brake pedal, and the Lexus nearly does your switcheroo. We're going to sit back, relax, and watch this unfold. Oh my gosh, that Lexus almost lost that part of the race. Send it up the inside of turn 1, almost having a collision with the Lexus, but trying to get on the power on the outside, just slipping it ever so slightly. At least we're still a little bit quicker than the Lexus overall, who actually backed out and gave us that position. Thank you ever so much, Lopez. That's very much appreciated. By lap 4, we're up to position 6. Although Lopez did surrender that position, they did go for a peaking move up the inside there. Could have been very detrimental to the rear end of this BMW, but thankfully it was not the case. And that has kind of dragged us away from the Mercedes up in front. Not only that, it has put us under fire along this back straight. They are going to have the slipstream. They're going to be able to reel us in. The Mercedes is just that little bit too far away to have slipstream benefit us in the long run. Doesn't look like to be the case. It looks like the Lexus is actually quite slow in a straight line and is under fire from the BMW behind them. Our teammate Fafus is right behind us now as we make a move on the Mercedes in front up to position 5, going a little bit deep, actually very deep into turn 1. Track limits are lighting up, saying Flash, you did go a little bit wide, but a bounce on the curb nearly ended the race. We bounced along the grass a little bit, came back to life in position 16, and we wasn't collected by anybody. Everybody gave us space, everybody was fair, having a bit of door rub into the Ferrari to the right hand side. No harm, no foul. You know what? We didn't even hit the wall, so we don't even have any body damage. So we are still 100% in one piece. One thing I will say though, we have flat spots on the tyres. They're a little bit rubbery, bouncy, and that is not something you really want in an endurance race. You know, you want the tyres to be spot on, and they are not. No harm, no foul. We are only lap 5 out of 32. We have plenty of time ahead of us to, hopefully not make more mistakes. Coming out the other side onto the banking, we are again in position 16, hunting down the Porsche up in front. The Ferrari behind has backed off, and it did take us a good bit of time to catch up to the Porsche, who's clearly helping their teammate in the old slipstream battles, and teammates working together close the door. Yeah, this is not the place you want to be, having to lose momentum because we have people working together. Really not helpful. But sending it into turn 1, gaining those 2 positions away from the Porsches. We have a Corvette to our right hand side, Corvette up in front, and really a huge wolf pack of cars, which is really beneficial to us as we send it right down into turn 3 and gain all those positions in one insane move. There's no way that we're going to be able to pull that off again, I can say that much. All we need to do now, catch up the Mercedes, use the outer bank slipstream to bunny hop from the Mercedes past the Mustang and gain that position back. Sometimes the stars just don't align in your favor. By that I mean the ADHD crew are coming through, and that is the hypercars. And I say that in the kindest of ways because they are the ADHD crew. They want to get past you. They have zero patience. They are willing to take the risk. They are so much faster, so much quicker at cornering, everything, and they just want to get past you and race themselves. And we're just bad traffic holding them up on a Sunday morning drive, which is fair enough. Now I understand the rules state that it's up to them to pass you safely, but sometimes you've got to give them that chance to pass you. It's better to concede a 10th than it is to lose the run. That's the way I see it. Whether I'm right or wrong, well, this kind of answers the question now. Conceded more than a 10th, and the Mustang has managed to catch us up. Not ideal, but while they are quicker, they are prone to more mistakes, and well, mistakes do happen, such as picking an awkward place to have a crash by yourself, and that is in the bus stop. Yellow flag does light up, and you can see them there parked awkwardly, and kind of throws us off board because it's really hard to see where they are until you're actually upon them, and thankfully they didn't move, they waited. Again, so easy for people to get frustrated, rejoin dangerously, and ultimately destroy everybody else that's catching up to them and around them. But from the first crash to now, we are up quite a few positions. We're now up to position 8, chasing down Cressoni in the Mercedes up in front, who's just set a lap time of a 151.1, and we have just done a 149.5. 2 seconds quicker than them almost. We can nail that each lap. We're going to close that 3-second time delta so quickly. Already almost 4/10 up by turn. What's going on here? That is a lot of smoke. Anyway, we're caught up to the Mercedes and overtaken said Mercedes. Now it's to catch up to Lopez, who we overtook earlier before we managed to crash ourselves out of the race from anyway, catch up back up to Lopez. The Mercedes I think has damage because they're really not all that fast, so I'm not too sure what happened with the hypercars and the Mercedes, but yeah, hopefully they won't apply any pressure upon us and we can just focus on chasing down Lopez in the Lexus. The Lexus is an absolutely brilliant car. Sounds great, handles great, but I think this BMW is quicker on a run, and that is where it's going to count on these outer banks. We can chase them down, outbrake them, out-corner them. We will close that 1.2 second time delta fairly rapidly, and it did kind of be fairly rapidly because it took us a lap to do it, but coming up side by side into the bus stop, not ideal. I think, do you know what, it's best to concede, back off, let them regain, and we're going to use the slipstream and the side draft to blow the inside and kind of push our way through. Not only that, we've also set an insane sector 2 pace, fastest of the race up to now, although we are almost 6 tenths down from our best of a 148.5. Now it's time for the P2s to start making their way through the pack. The P2s are not as fast as the hypercars. I think they do handle better, but we do have a hypercar looking to take that position and kind of messed up our flow there. We're going to get a track limits warning for going off the track. Yeah, not ideal. And it wasn't really a smart place to overtake either. You know, we had a bit of funkiness going on, and see how close they are. There's no need to be that close. Pushing us onto the bank, probably kind of telling us off for being so close to the other P2 car. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But butchering up that corner there and having contact with the Lexus, because they just absolutely sent it through with zero regard to us, and we kind of went off track, so rejoin is on us to a degree. We have no bumper damage, which is essential at this track. The last thing you need is to lose a few tenths on a run because you have body damage on the vehicle. Thing is, when cars start to overtake you of a different class that are faster than you, they usually come in waves, and here comes wave big 1, I'm going to call it, because I really thought of that name and it is, you know, kind of unique and genius. But everybody in the P2s are now barreling down upon us. Besides, obviously, position 1 and 2 is long gone. This is the mid-pack, and they have swarmed us like a fly on... yeah. Now we have a bit of body damage. Yeah, not ideal. Lexus sent it through. You know, I went a bit deep, a bit wide. Lexus capitalized upon that, and the hypercar capitalized on the Lexus, capitalized on me. A lot of capitalizing going on in one corner. Might be best to sit back, relax, and let the the P2s make their way through. The last thing we need to do is keep battling the Lexus and then conceding because of the P2s being around us. You see the wolf pack of them coming behind. And not only that, there's a hypercar that is in position 1 within that mix. There they go, on the outside, overtaken. So we have, well, what looks to be a messy bean sandwich. It really is not the place you want to be. It is dangerous, it is scary, and you just don't know what to do because you're trying to give space to them, trying to battle your own race. And they're battling people that's battling them. It's insane. But going through the bus stop, out the other side, in one piece, relax. We're back on the straight. They can go around you again, flash, no harm, no foul. We're going to go away from the bank a little bit more, try and force them out. Well, I was hoping to force them out a little bit more, and it really wasn't the case. You know, they pass you so closely, and one mistake could send us both off. Look at the hypercars just barreling their way through, past the P2s. Oh, contact with a P2 to our right side, who by the size of it is topping out, and we have a little bit more to give as well. It really is not an ideal place to be, and yeah, at least the Lexus, on the other hand, has been losing time. Oh dear. I did say it was the worst place to be. At least we only lost a few positions. On the other hand, we have wheel damage, we have front bumper damage, rear bumper damage. The car is hurting. Pace is going to hurt. Tires are really hurt now because the flat spots are more flat spots. Yeah, that crash has cost us at the moment 7 seconds. Lopez was 1 second behind us. Now they're 6 seconds ahead. This car is going to be slow on pace. It is injured. It's not driving well. And you know what? I think it's probably time to sit there and think, I'm halfway through the race. We're going to have to stop at some point, whether we like it or not. Let's do it now. Get a new set of tires, get the body repaired, and let's put this car back together so we can compete in this race. Now, we are going to lose a substantial amount of time by pitting. You know, we have body repairs, we're going to put tyres on, we're going to fill the tank up again to make sure we can finish this race. But once we're fixed, once we have new tyres, we can really start setting the pace on and start blowing past everyone. And pitting does take a while, I'm not going to lie. Look at this, 13 seconds for tyres, 32 seconds for damage, fuel takes 51 seconds. Oh dear. We are certainly going to come out in last place, but that is not a problem. While we may be last, we are in fresh air. Nobody to battle us, nobody to slow us down per se, besides letting the hypercars pass. We can just start setting hot laps and what is that doing part there? Oh, you never guess what though. I go off the track to avoid a crash and I get a track limits warning for going off the track. How insultive is that? Dear me. This game, track limits at this track needs to be looked at because they are very, very brutal. We have a GT car behind us actually. We are, like I say, in last place. They haven't pitted yet. They have plenty of fuel remaining for the race. Ourselves got a fresh set of tyres, so we're no longer bumping along the road. We have no body damage. You know what we can do? Keep setting an insane amount of times. One thing I did notice though, while racing at night, very late at night, tyre temperature or tyre monitoring now becomes a thing because the tyres are struggling to keep their heat, especially on the outer banking and heading into turn 1. So we have to bear that in mind. But as we start chasing down the cars up in front, we go from lap to lap to lap, and we do start catching up to these two cars up in front, an Aston Martin and a Ferrari, who ultimately are heavily battling each other, which is slowing them both down and not being able to capitalize upon such situations because they're hogging the road. I'm just going to say that and make an excuse. You know, we wasn't able to gain, but what we are gaining is the outer bank. This BMW absolutely flies, and look at that. Them two are still battling each other down there. They know that they've lapped me. You know, I'm far away from part of their race. They have no care, let's put it that way, that I've overtaken. It makes no difference to them, which benefits us. It really does. They haven't realized we've already been in the pits out the other side. The competition isn't now. The competition is later down the line. We've planned ahead. We've had to change our strategy, and this is where we're going to start gaining. Where people just say, it's a lapped car, they're passing us, whatever. Well, you guys still got a pit. Whilst I'm gaining, we're going to keep sending it. So that's 2 positions gained before we even know it. 8 minutes of this race remaining. The daylight is back up. The tyre temperatures are back where they should be. We can push that a little bit harder. Braking down the second gear for turn 1, we have a P2 car behind us, have a hypercar behind that, and we're still in last place in position 19. Yeah, you know, it doesn't always work in your favor, but we only have 5 laps of this race remaining, or 6. Other cars are now starting to enter the pits. I have no knowledge whether these other cars have any body damage, or they're going to change their tires, and they're going to get any repairs done. This is where we're going to have to make sure we can send it and make these lap times count. Unlike that situation there, that was terrible for that corner flash. Brake a little bit early and might actually make it. Very close to not making it, I will say that. Coming around for start lap 29, there's a few more people exiting the pits. We need to make sure we get past them. We don't want them coming out in front of us, holding us up. Their tyres are going to be cold. We got to make sure we get out the other side. There we go. That is number 1 in front place. I think the crashed hypercar is no longer there. I'm not too sure what happened. They must have quit the race. But we have a hypercar behind us, then GT3s behind that. Let's get away. We're up to position 6. Everybody's pitted, out the other side. We have gained so much whilst lost so much at the same time during this race, and it really is like that. Problem is, their tyres are going to be stickier. Their tyres are going to be in far better condition. They've got fresh set of rubber. Ours is heavily worn. You know, we've done 15 laps almost on these tyres. But as long as we keep consistent, keep making gains, and not get caught up in traffic like we have here on the right hand side, giving each other space, contact. How did that damage the rear? I don't know, game. You do some funky stuff. Okay, a little bit of contact. under pressure from the car behind. Oh, hold on a minute. That car behind is a lapped car. They're position 16. Wow, they're really applying the pressure whilst being lapped. Fair enough. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to grumble. But final lap now. Coming around for the final few sectors of this race. Going over the track limit is going to collect another penalty. No harm, no foul. We're miles away from getting a drive-through, and it doesn't really matter. It's the final lap. We've set our best up to now of a 1:47.850, which is a brilliant lap time. Look at our fuel. 0.6 laps remaining of fuel. How close is that? I mean, it's insanely close. And it's that close, I want to see actually how far this fuel will go at the end of the race. So we're going to keep sending it. Sadly, we wasn't able to catch up to Crossoni up in front. You know, 2.4 seconds ahead. I think one more lap may have done it. It would have been nice to gain position 5, but it is what it is. And Lopez finishing the race in position 4. We had another 6 seconds upon them. Just such a shame. We could have really done with a few more laps to take that position from them as well. Considering we was in front of them, you know, we may have actually been in a chance for at least a podium. Possibly. You never know. I mean, position 3 is 12 seconds ahead, which is 6 seconds ahead of Lopez. You know, I mean, I would have been happy. I mean, I'm happy the position we're finishing now is absolutely insane. You know, considering 2 crashes out the other side, a bit of lag there, a bit weird, but we managed to overtake the Mercedes. 0.1% energy left, 0.3 gallons of fuel in the tank remaining. And surprisingly, you know, 0.6 has lasted us quite far. You know, I've not been gentle with the throttle. We're still sending it. You know, now we're overtaking Lopez. Yeah, see you later, bud. Yeah, I wonder if we can actually finish this lap. It's really got me on edge, finishing all this fuel off. Lopez is not too happy that I've overtook him on the last, well, not last lap, but the parade lap. Oh, dear me. Now we're out of fuel. Nothing in the tank. Still going. Overtaking the hypercars. Come on. Oh, there she is. There she goes. Oh, well, it almost did another lap. Almost. I mean, if that was a final lap, that would have been absolutely sick. Okay. Just going to let it roll through the pits. Our pit stop is right down the end there. We're doing 29 miles per hour. We have Lopez going up the outside here. I'm definitely in the wrong position. Lopez is turning in. Lopez, do you mind? I'm going to get a penalty, and I don't want to lose momentum. I actually want to make it to my booth. Just down there. Oh, dear me. Almost there, though. Almost there. This car rolls so well. So if you ever do run out of fuel, I would say pick the BMW because it has the ultimate roll.